But now the crucial question is what comes next for Venezuela and, more importantly, for the United States. On and on and on. No plan, no clarity, only chaos. But the danger in Venezuela is only beginning. Donald Trump has opened a Pandora's box, and things will get out of hand very quickly. The American people did not sign up for this kind of military adventurism when they voted for Donald Trump. They wanted a president focused on America first. Mr. President, early Saturday morning, as we all know, U.S. forces apprehended Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. Both of them are now in U.S. custody. First, I'll say this. Maduro is a tyrant. Nobody mourns what has happened to him. Under his watch, the people of Venezuela have suffered immensely. But now the crucial question is what comes next for Venezuela and, more importantly, for the United States. Nobody really seems to know. The administration's story keeps changing by the hour, even after Secretary Rubio spent all day Sunday trying to clean up Trump's mess. The president went right back to repeat that the U.S. will now apparently run Venezuela for a while. On and on and on. No plan, no clarity, only chaos. Ironically and dangerously, the chaos Donald Trump has engendered in Venezuela leads him on, in his mind, to think he should try the same thing in Colombia, in Iran, even in Greenland. But the danger in Venezuela is only beginning. Donald Trump has opened a Pandora's box, and things will get out of hand very quickly. And if Donald Trump tries to do to Colombia and Greenland what he did in Venezuela, the disasters and consequences could compound exponentially, as bad as Venezuela alone was going to be. Whenever our country has gotten involved in this kind of regime change and nation building, American families pay the price in blood and in treasure. That's what happened in Iraq, for instance. The American people did not sign up for this kind of military adventurism when they voted for Donald Trump. They wanted a president focused on America first, focused on lowering the cost of living, lowering health care costs, lowering grocery prices. Just like Donald Trump broke his promise to release the Epstein files, he's now breaking his promise to end American involvement in the endless wars. I warn my Republican colleagues, the backlash from the MAGA base on the war in Venezuela will be swift, fierce, and thunderous, just like it was with the Epstein files. And if the Republicans go along with Donald Trump on Venezuela, Americans will pay the price in blood and in treasure, while Republicans could very well pay the price politically. In the meantime, the next step for Congress is clear. We must stop Trump's folly by invoking the War Powers Act. Later this week, I'll join Senator Kaine and Senators Schiff and Senator Paul, forcing a vote on our War Powers resolution, a bipartisan measure that will affirm Congress's authority on matters of war and peace when it comes to Venezuela. If there was ever a time for Republicans to step up to the plate and stand up not just for the authority of Congress, but for our national security, our safety, that time is now. Separately this afternoon, House and Senate, leaders of the House and Senate will meet with senior administration officials to ask questions about what is going on in Venezuela, try to get to the bottom of it, and what the plan is moving forward. An all-senators briefing is also being organized for later this week. I demanded these briefings immediately after the strike on Saturday. The administration owes Congress and the American people some pretty basic answers to many important questions. Most importantly, what the hell does Donald Trump mean when he says the United States now intends to run Venezuela? Does this mean we're now in the business of nation-building Venezuela? Are we going to put troops on the ground? How many? Where? And how much will it cost? How long will this go on? These questions should be answered to the Congress and, more importantly, to the American people before the administration attempts anything akin to so-called running Venezuela. Frankly, we also know why Senator Rubio misled Congress so blatantly over the past 4 months. On 3 occasions, I asked Rubio whether or not the administration was seeking regime change in Venezuela. 3 times the answer was no. We never really believed him in the first place, to be candid. But if Secretary Rubio wasn't straight with us about Venezuela, what else is he not being straight with us about now? What else is he not being straight with the American people now? For example, is an attack on Colombia now on the table? Or what about Iran or Greenland? How is anything of this putting America first? The simple answer is that it's not. If you're a family of 4 in New York and your health care premiums just doubled on January 1st, what are you supposed to think when you read in the paper that Donald Trump is spending billions attacking Venezuela? If you're struggling to keep a roof over your head, if you're falling behind on your mortgage payment, what are you supposed to think when Donald Trump says we're going to run Venezuela for a while? The American people did not sign up for another round of endless wars. They want Donald Trump to focus on the problems here at home, on health care, on housing, on energy, on groceries. But Donald Trump's promise to keep us out of foreign entanglements is now as worthless as his promise to release the Epstein files. He promises his base one thing on the campaign trail and does the exact opposite once he's in office. And it's the American people who will pay the price.
You used the term unauthorized and unprecedented, but do you believe the administration's actions in Venezuela were illegal? And if so, what actions are Democrats prepared to take?
We're going to have a conversation with the administration within the hour when the leaders of the House and Senate on a bipartisan basis are going to be briefed at the highest levels by so-called Secretary of Defense, Attorney General, as I understand it, Secretary of State, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the CIA Director. There are a lot of questions that need to be answered on behalf of the American people. So that's the next step that's in front of us right now. What's clear is that the administration took military action without congressional approval. It was military action, not a law enforcement action, despite what members of the administration are claiming right now. And the notion that the American people are supposed to believe that the military action that the Trump administration took had anything really to do with a counter-narcotics effort is belied by the fact that it was Donald Trump just a few weeks ago who pardoned the former president of Honduras, who's one of the world's leading narco traffickers. The former president of Honduras was convicted by an American jury of narco trafficking, of jamming more than 400 tons of cocaine into the United States of America. He was sentenced after being convicted by an American jury to 45 years of hard time in federal prison. Former president of Honduras said he wanted to jam cocaine down the nostrils of the gringos. And this is the person that Donald Trump pardoned? And the American people are now supposed to believe that this whole situation that has unfolded in Venezuela has anything to do with a counter-narcotics operation? Get lost.